Amen. And one thing, with mental illness, one thing about it, the enemy, he does attack our mind first. And when he attacks your mind, he got you. But with God, there's healing. With God, there's deliverance. Amen. Amen. So my platform is From Brokenness to Marvelous, because I want everybody to see a turn.
I was also in a toxic situational relationship where I lost myself. We became codependent. And so when you're in that space, you lose self-confidence, you lose self-worth, you lose value, you lose friends, you isolate yourself from others because you choose to stay in a abusive or toxic situation. And that, so with that situation for me, I had to figure out a way to come back to self, because I think that's a common theme of coming back to yourself. And we know that when we're dealing with a loss from breaking free of that toxic situation, we go through grief there too. We go through grief because once we've isolated ourselves, that's all we know. So we feel like we lost something that we lost that attachment.
Trigger warnings earlier because I was looking back over what I wrote and I thought, ooh, we need that for me. So I wanted to start out with a trigger warning because I will be speaking about personal experience with grief and mental illness. And a lot of my story has really ugly moments, and that can be hard to talk about, but also hard for other people to hear. Anyway, I'm so honored to be here today to discuss my personal experiences with grief and mental illness. And I openly share these experiences with people so that hopefully someone else will say, I've been through something similar, or I've been affected by something like that, and you have inspired me now to reach out and get help. So the dictionary defines grief as deep sorrow, especially that caused by someone's death. But the words of that definition seem to pale in comparison to the actual feeling of grief. While technically grief can be defined, I believe it must be experienced to be truly understood. Grief is waking up in the middle of the night at 8 years old, feeling as if I was suffocating, only to find a family member crushing my body beneath theirs as they raped me. Grief is not understanding why someone who supposedly loved me could also hurt me at the same time.
Illness and with protracted grief that's not resolving, and look at medication, but it's also important to refer yourself or a loved one if they're struggling at all, because a lot of people ask me, doctor, are you going to prescribe medicine? I mean, that's all you ever do, right? And I'm like, no, that's not true. That's not true. I will be honest. I'll be the first one to be honest. I prescribe more than not. Why? Because I generally get referrals from psychologists, LCSWs, LPTs, therapists in the community, where people have already done therapy, if you will, for a while, and it's gotten worse, so they're coming to me with referrals to look at them. Or primary care doctor has seen them and tried some medications and it hasn't been successful in their symptoms. So again, I would say, in all honesty, about 90% of the time I do prescribe. But 10% of the time I probably don't. Either I don't agree with women that they've been sent in that they really need a medicine, maybe the primary care doctor quickly. Maybe I thought the therapist could do some more things.